Welcome back to another show. Before I get started, if you have any stories or any questions for me, leave it down below in the comments with as much detail as you can. You could send me messages on social media, you could email me, the links are in the description. If I think I could help you out, I'll make a video and give you the best advice I can. All right, let's get right back into this question. He says, I can't save or manage my money properly. I think I make a decent income, about 4K a month by myself, but no matter what, I never seem to have much money at the end of the month. I'm single, I don't go out much, and sometimes I just go on dates. My rent is only $1,500 and I don't have a car. Somehow, I still feel like I'm living paycheck to paycheck with no money saved and not sure how it's ever going to change with my income staying the same. So in short, you make 4K a month, it still seems like you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't know where your money is going. You have the answers to this question, okay? The answers lie in, your bank account statements, your credit card statements. And I get it. Like when you're living like this, paycheck to paycheck, and you don't know where your money is going, you're scared to check. You don't want to face the reality of where your bad habits are, how you're spending your money, when you're buying things you're not supposed to, overspending on your hobbies, whatever it is. This is something that there is a fear behind it. I've been there too when I've had low money. It's like, I don't want to look at my bank account and see where my money's going at the time because I know that I haven't made, the best decisions of spending that. So this is something you have to do. When I track or how I track my expenses on a monthly basis, you have to be disciplined and start doing something like this. Okay. I use my Apple Notepad, like just the Apple Notes basic app. I don't recommend using an app that tracks your expenses like this because it does it automatically and you end up not checking the app. You end up letting the app run everything for you and you kind of disregard it. I like to do it in my notes. I like to do the math manually, let it hurt a bit. Do the math, figure out exactly where it's going and let it sting and optimize for the next month. So on my notes, I do, top bar, my income, and then I write a list of specific expenses for that month. Okay. Everything, credit cards, PayPal, bank accounts, anywhere there's money going out, I write it down specifically on the notepad. Then obviously I take my income, subtract it from my expenses, see how much I've overspent or how much, I have left. At the bottom of that month, I will put how much money I have total available at the end of the month. So let's say I have 45,000 at the end of the month. I'll put that every month. So every month I know if my money is going up or if it's going down, and it's just easier to read like that, right? It's very important that you do this manually, okay? Do the math on your own. Do the income, which is easy. If you only have a job, then do the income and then do the expenses, write it specifically and know exactly where your money's going. This is how you're going to see. You say you don't know where your money is going. It sounds basic, but this is how you see it. You do the math on your own. You write out your income, you write out your expenses, and you be disciplined on doing that every month. People think you have to be a business owner to do this. You could do this with a regular job and it's called managing your money properly. You don't have to have a ton of income coming in and a ton of tax write-offs or whatever it is to be tracking this kind of stuff. Everybody should be doing this. You need to track your money better and it has to be done manually. You have to do the math, you have to let it hurt, and you have to optimize for the next month, every single month, every year for the rest of your life. Okay. That's how you're going to have clarity when you do this as well, right? It gives you a sense of freedom. Even if you're overspending, where, the irresponsibilities lie. Where the money is going. The mistakes you're making. And eventually you're going to adjust them and fix them as you go, right? There's nothing wrong with making mistakes a few months, indulging in something that maybe you spent, a little too much on. But eventually, you're going to learn as you go. And once you see that that money might be more valuable saved, and you could actually see it in a clear list, you're going to have a better understanding of what's going on with your money and how to save a little more. 4,000 a month is pretty good. I mean, if you're on your own, you're only spending 1,500 a month on rent. Things add up. There's $400 groceries, $200 Amazon, $300 on hobbies. Maybe you bought some clothes that month. You indulge a little more in your hobbies. You went out for dinner on 2 dates. You have some subscriptions. Like the money adds up fast, like a couple $100 here, there, wherever is going to add up to $2,500, $3,000 a month fast if you're not keeping track and if you don't know what you're doing with it all the time, right? So all these little things, that's why you don't know where it's going. you do know where it's going, but it's small little things that are just adding up. And by the end of the month, you look at your bank account and, it's zero or whatever. And then you don't really remember what it's been spent on because there's all these little things that have added up, right? So those are the things that you have to track and manage. Okay. Another, a little piece of advice here is if you wanted to, you could start a side business on the side from home, whatever, after work, and maybe make a little more income. But if you're not managing your money, doesn't matter if you're making 5K, 10K, 15K a month. If you're not managing your money properly, at the end of the month, you're still going to be lower than you expected. You're still you make 10K a month and you're going to spend, a little more on everything else, right? So it's going to balance out if you're not managing your money and if you're not mindful about what you're spending on and, breaking those bad spending habits. So sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you make. Even if you had a side job that made an extra 5K, if you weren't managing your money properly, it's still going to disappear before you even know it, right? But if you wanted some extra income, if you think 4,000 is you look at your expenses and say, I needed to spend all this for somehow, even though your rent's only 1,500, you don't have a car. So that rest of that money is going to, a little bit of overspending. Obviously, you could cut that back. But if you say, I need to be spending all that money that month, then, maybe get a side job or maybe start a small business, a little hobby business, whatever, just to make, maybe $1,000 extra a month, just so you have something you could save, save it up 15 to 20K, whatever, and then try to invest it in something else that can make you maybe passive income or whatever you want to do with that extra money. That's kind of, free money. So definitely have to do this, guys. It gives you, peace of mind. It gives you some freedom knowing exactly where your money's going every month. It's going to make you feel better. Whether you have money or you don't, you need to be doing this. Okay. So I hope that inspired you. Make sure you do not use an app to do this. I'm telling you, it has to be manual for you to actually do the math and, feel the pain of that overspending, right? So do the math on your own. Hope this inspired you to get started on doing something like this. Anybody else watching this video, if you have any questions about money, relationships, dating, personal development, mindset, anything along those lines, guys, leave it down in the comments. You could message me on social media. You could send me an email. The links will be in description. And if I think I could help you out, I'll make a video and give you my best advice. Okay. If not, if everything's great in your life, subscribe anyways, and let me know you're watching. Support the channel. That's what gives this channel the energy to keep growing. I'll see you on the next one.